Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shaira and I post planner and lettering videos on this channel. So today I have another plan with me for you guys. However, this is actually a leftovers collab plan with me that I did with Lemon Planning. Go follow her on Instagram. She also has a YouTube, which she hasn't uploaded to in quite some time. However, she has really great content. She has done great stop motion videos in the past, so hoping she definitely gets back into that. But here I'm really quickly just going to flip through some of the stickers that I pulled in as a base for this kit. We went with like a purple theme. That's kind of what we talked about, and I went through my entire collection of leftovers and just kind of looked through anything that's kind of in the purplish realm. I did kind of pull in some bluer purple type tones, kind of more indigo-ish, so I kept that in, and then I pulled in this variety of washies. So I mostly pulled in some purples, and then I pulled in one white one actually. There are some sections of the video where I kind of go out of frame, so I totally apologize about that. But if you have any questions about where some stickers are from, if I can remember, I'll totally let you guys know, and you can feel free to just comment below. But this does use the same plans that I used in my last plan with me, and I did end up doing it in my Wonton in a Million inserts, more so as kind of like a special spread. Because I am just repeating that, so instead of going over everything that I put down in the plans as well as the stickers that I used, feel free to just comment below if you have questions. And I do actually have some Q&A questions that I'll answer in a little bit, which I asked you guys about on Instagram. So kind of before I dive into that, I wanted to kind of give some just tips around doing leftover spreads. I wanted to at least kind of walk you through the process of how I curated all of the stickers that I grabbed and kind of my thought process there. So whenever I do leftover spreads, which I honestly don't do very often, and I really hope that I kind of do it a lot more, especially after this one, is I kind of start with full boxes or a specific color, or kind of both. So I try to look for full boxes in kind of a color scheme that I'm looking for. And then I just kind of look at the colors that exist in the overall theme. For this one, I actually did try to go more monochrome and just picked one color, which is purple. So definitely recommend that. Kind of anchor yourself on colors that exist within full boxes, or if not, kind of pick like a couple of colors that are in the same family. So color theory really comes into that, so try to pick colors that are either similar or complementary. So for purple, a complementary color would be yellow, so that would be a great accent color. But some like really good accents would also be like pinks and blues, so you might be able to see those from like kits that exist that you already have, as to see like what colors really go well together. But yeah, so kind of hopping into Q&A stuff, you guys sent me a couple of questions on Instagram. Some of them were actually repeated, and I kind of did just try to group them all together as I could, because some of them were super similar. So first of all, one of the first questions and most common questions I got is actually, what do you do for a living? I think a lot of you guys who have seen me over the years when I had a shop and everything, I kind of brought in the reason that I was focusing on work as well as other personal factors outside of that. And that's why I closed down the shop. And so I think a lot of you guys are just curious what I do, but without revealing too much personal information, I work in tech. I am a product designer, or you can also call it a UI UX designer. So what I do is I design apps and websites, etc., and I do that for a fintech company. So yeah, I don't want to like reveal too much about that, but I do design for a living. It's not necessarily like design as in graphic design. It's definitely more so around thinking about how do you build out an app and make it do what it needs to do. So other questions, there are also a lot of questions around like calligraphy and lettering, etc. So there's people who ask like, did I practice different types of lettering, or how did I get into lettering initially? So lettering is something that I used to always do in school for a while. I don't really remember exactly how it like officially started. However, over the years, when I was starting to go into planning, I really wanted to bring in kind of more flavor, I guess, into like what I put on my planner. And so when I was starting out planning, I also kind of found a lot of calligraphers and hand letterers in the community. And so I really just practiced a lot on my own. When it comes to like different types of lettering, I think the one I really focused on in the beginning was faux calligraphy and kind of the mastering like the heavy strokes and the light strokes in like brush lettering like you see me doing right here. So that's the one I focused on a lot. I've also tried to learn a little bit more of like chunky block letters style, but definitely like the hand lettering style you guys see me do a lot is one I really focused on. So yeah, I definitely practice a lot of different ones because they're all really related. I feel like you kind of get a better understanding of what letters are supposed to look like when you hand letter in order to practice. But most of my time that I did to practice and the one that I use the most is definitely this kind of brush lettering style that you see me use a lot. Another question I got is tips for people who want to start writing calligraphy. And I feel like most people who are starting calligraphy never want to hear like you should practice. And so over the years, as I've kind of helped people get started with lettering, I've tried to look into like what are other ways for you to actually learn how to hand letter without just practicing. I think like with any skill, practice is like a main thing. However, one thing I always recommend to people, which is something I feel like not a lot of hand letterers like recommend or really talk about, is really to just get comfortable with your own like cursive, like your own handwriting, like before you even get into your hand lettering. So it's so easy to go in and try to copy someone else's like writing style or their lettering style, but it's not yours. And the more you try to just better your own writing and your own lettering, the better it is and the more comfortable and the easier it is for you. So I definitely recommend start with like your own cursive. Look at the letters that you write. If there's any that you feel like don't look good with hand lettering, or you see someone else that has a style that you really like slowly like change the letters that you have into like the cursive that you see. I don't know if that makes sense, but I probably could make like a video on it. But yeah, I kind of don't agree with like doing the books where you kind of trace out someone else's handwriting, because it builds a little bit of muscle memory, but it's not very natural. So definitely try to find a natural way for you to really write more fluidly and just kind of improve your own handwriting in order to do better hand lettering. Next, I have a few questions around favorites. One is around my favorite pens to use. Some of my favorites are definitely the Muji gel pen. I use the 0.5. I also really like the Tool pens, which I'm using in this plan with me actually. When it comes to like brush pens, I really like the Tombow Fudemakase, and then here I also have the Pilot Fudemakase, and then I also use the Tombow dual tipped brush pens, which those are also some of my favorites, especially for hand lettering. What are your favorite shops for kits right now? This is definitely a variety because I've been starting to collect more, but definitely like Scribble Prints Co. has been a favorite. I like the art that Andrea has been using for kits lately. I also really like Caress Press, kind of for the same reason, just the unique art and just kind of the overall kit format. There's also a couple other shops that I haven't tried or haven't tried enough, but I really like their overall style. I like My Newest Addiction, Two Little Bees. I've only used very few kits from them. I also haven't used weekly kits from The Giving Girl and Sticky Essentials, but their style is definitely some things that I really like. I don't actually like photo kits. I don't know what it is, but it just isn't part of my overall vibe. I don't know. I struggle kind of using them. So I don't really tend towards shops that have kind of that photo kit style. That's generally just kind of my point of view there. So the next kind of chunk of questions is around the shop. I got a lot of questions, so I did kind of just try to consolidate those as much as I could. But there were a lot of questions around, would I do customs? Would I do digitals? Would I reconsider reopening and stuff like that? And the answer to all of that is I am thinking about it as a whole. I think this isn't to say like I'm going to reopen or anything like that, but it's something I think about a lot. I really enjoyed kind of making stickers and just kind of designing and all that. Obviously, I do design for a living, but it's a different kind of creative muscle to still do like lettering and stuff like that for you guys. And obviously, I also enjoyed making my own stickers, like being able to use them myself. So it isn't like a fully closed door. However, I do have a lot of other priorities right now. So it's something I think through a lot, but I don't have a definite answer there. I don't really know if I'd go the digital/custom routes. Just in kind of my point of view, I want something that's not super involved, but I also am really concerned about kind of people stealing art, and that's something that happens a lot online lately. So that's something I try to be wary about. And when it comes to customs, customs are a lot of work, and I highly value people that do customs for other people. So if you see a shop that does customs, like I definitely think that they put in a lot of work, and you should definitely value the work that they provide for you, because it definitely takes some time to make customs, especially when it's lettering. The more customs you have, obviously the more work it is, and that's not something I definitely have time for as of right now. I mentioned it earlier, obviously my career is a big focus for me. That's something I'm definitely going to keep doing. Running a shop is not something I anticipate doing like as a full-time job or anything. I really love the career that I'm in. But having a shop was something that I did really like having on the side. But that's kind of just how I see it. It's always just going to be a hobby, something on the side that I do. Not ever something that's like my main source of income, or something that I foresee myself doing for a really long time. So definitely not closing that door, but I think it's a thing that I am still constantly kind of thinking about, how I can do it while still kind of managing all my other goals in life. And yeah, so that's kind of that overall. One kind of semi-related question to that is, do you miss having a shop? I think I kind of half answered that already, but yeah, I definitely do. I really love making art for you guys. I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed using my hand lettering in your spreads. And it's really fulfilling to see someone use something you created. I know artists out there probably feel the same way. So it is something I miss. However, I also am really enjoying just the extra time that I have for myself and doing other things that I love and value a little bit more outside of just like something that makes me money. I think that's the hard thing when you start making money off of like a hobby. It kind of starts becoming less fun, to be very honest with you guys. If you've never kind of done that yourself, that's kind of the general sentiment there. But yeah, so I think it's just been a nice relief for me to not have to worry so much about cutting, or worrying about my silhouettes not cutting right, or making stickers and all that. But yeah, so like I said, I'm definitely trying to look into ways for me to be able to do that while still kind of, maintaining my sanity in the process, and not really like over stressing myself out over doing something that I do love doing just on the side. This is the last question for this video, but it's the most important question to me, which is, who is your bias in BTS? So if you guys didn't know, I'm totally ARMY. I love BTS. I never really got into it until I went to a concert a year ago. So they were in LA in 2019, and I went with some friends. And to be honest, like, we all kind of felt like we were fake ARMY at the time, but people in ARMY are just so nice and so welcoming, and just such amazing people. And obviously, like, BTS is really talented, and they are such great world changers as well. But anyways, all that to say, my bias is RM, and I actually tend towards the rap line and the Hyung line a little bit more. So my bias record is actually J-Hope. But I really like both of them, especially when I saw them in concert. They're just amazing. But I think like I definitely lean towards RM, because I mean, President Kim Namjoon, that's my president right there. So I don't know about you guys, but yeah, anyways, I am getting towards the end of this spread. So just to kind of wrap this up, like I said, if you guys have any questions about where specific stickers are from, let me know. I really appreciate all the questions you guys gave me. It's always really nice to kind of just talk to you guys on a personal level, and I love getting to know you guys on a personal level. So if any of the things I kind of talked about resonate with you guys, feel free to comment below. Slide in my DMs on Instagram. I love making friends there and just talking to you guys there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this plan with me. I really enjoyed doing this spread, so I probably will be doing more leftover spreads in the future. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.